Okay, it's broadcasting. Can you see it on YouTube now?
Trying.
Okay.
Yep. Virtual protection and ancient.
Okay, is it a link?
It's live.
Can you copy the link and put it on WhatsApp?
It's that same link.
Okay, is it a link? I need to mute.
Mute microphone. Unmute.
Okay. Good evening, brothers and sisters. My name is Kingsley Kobayashi. I was born in Benin, Edo State, in the Benin Empire. I'm residing in Tokyo for the past 20-something years, almost 30 years. And today I'll be talking about spirituality, spiritual protection, actually, because we in the Benin, we from the Benin, or we in the spiritual part, are studying a lot about spirituality without actually protecting ourselves. We do a lot of things to protect our properties, our monies, big locks in the door. How many of us actually protect our children, ourselves from spiritual attack? Being on the spiritual path is not an easy thing. We all know that. Attacking negativity with negativity does not work. So there are ways we do it in the Benin kingdom, where I was born, where we try as much as possible to avoid evil or protect ourselves from different attacks. Well, we all know that spirituality is being concerned with human spirit or soul, as opposed to things of the world. I wouldn't want to say material things, because sometimes we need material things to be able to help other people to grow. There are many theories about the origin of the Edo people of Benin Kingdom. In my opinion, we migrated from around Egypt. And one reason I'm very sure of this is because I live in Tokyo, which is also Edo. The former name of Tokyo was Edo. And a lot of things that we do in the Benin Empire, they also do in Tokyo. We have different deities, different gods. And one of the gods we have is Ehi, which is god of the head or god of destiny, which we serve to create success or drive away bad lucks for our people. The community actually have another one called Ogwedion, which is the ancestor strength, or which is known as the unknown ancestors. They are always there. We serve them when there are problems. We go to them and say, okay, this thing is happening in this community. How do we ward it off? How do we ward off this evil coming? There is this thing happening in this family. How do we help them? Then we have the Ogwedion, or the family stick, which is also where every family goes to. And in most families in Benin, when you marry, you take your wife there or somebody there, so that you are able to be protected from the harms that may come from her or her ways of life. But actually, today I would like to concentrate on the fact that we should not open doors to evils we cannot ward off. So in Benin tradition, we try to cleanse the area that we live in by using eggshell and things like that to cleanse ourselves after any spiritual study, or before we start any spiritual study. We use pepper fruit, we use hot drinks to cleanse the place. And for our children, we also use this, because in English way you call it energy vampires. People look at our children with bad eyes and something happens. There are people you make a phone call to about a deal that is going to happen and it doesn't happen anymore. How do you protect this from happening? How do you protect your family from happening? So in the Benin Empire, we have a lot of oracles that we consult when something is going wrong. And these oracles tell us what kind of sacrifice to do, what kind of prayers to do, what kind of things to work on. And in Tokyo, I have a temple too, a holistic temple, where I use the right oils, the right candles, and the right things to ward off all these things. The most popular way of protecting yourself in the Benin Kingdom is ahwe, which is taking a bath with different leaves. You put different leaves together that have been taught us from birth by our fathers, our forefathers, generation after generation, and you wash the leaves in the water, and then you use the water to bath. And when you do that, you are washing away all your bad lucks, all the evil eyes on you, things that have been harming your family or harming your home or your businesses. So by doing this, you are able to open the doors of success for yourself. Most of us, we go to gym to work out. We do a lot of things to look good. But how many of us do spiritual exercises? Spiritual exercises are very important. There are a lot of ways to do this. Simple one is meditation. Laughter, just laughing alone makes you happy. It's a good way of bring yourself up spiritually. Other things is people go to beach, they don't even know why they go to beach. Salt water is good for cleansing because the sea salt is one item that is very good for cleansing. And doing this all the time actually cleans you from the evil eye, from the energy vampires, because sometimes energy vampires don't even realize that they have those things in them that will make you to be sick or something like that. In Benin, we also have the Oromila, the divination god the oracle that we use, and you have the Esu, which is misinterpreted to be the devil worship, but it's actually ways of doing it that you wash away your bad lucks, your ill lucks, your things like that that you have acquired from meeting with people. You share people, when people come around at your cheap keys and say, "Hey, how are you? How are you doing today?" And they have actually deposited something. And how do you protect this child from that? In the Benin tradition, we have people who will mark you, put things in your body to not allow these things to get into your body. We have things that will mark in your hands that if the drink is poisoned or the food is poisoned, you don't get these things into your body, or if you get these things into your body, it does not affect you. We were brought up in an era where voodoo and things like that was practiced in the villages, witchcraft practiced in the villages. And what we are doing today is that our fathers, our mothers also found a way to protect their children, their wives, their younger ones from those problems. And we still do that today. Let's not forget, the head of the spiritual of spirituality in Benin Kingdom is the Oba of Benin. He's the custodian. We all pay our respect to him. He's the one and only. He gives orders. We don't. Nobody argues with him. We have different things for different occasions. We also have the Olokun God for prosperity, for money, for children. We have the Ogun God for fighting against the God of war, the God of iron. When you dream of some bad dreams or to avoid away accidents, anything bloody, they serve the Ogun gods and they do things to appease the gods. We all know about the third eye, which is called the pineal gland, which is like the third eye, which closes at the long run. Being able, that is what connects us with the divine. And being able to open your third eye through meditation, through many things, many ways of life, through communicating with your soul, learning to communicate with your soul, because the only thing that knows where you are going is your soul. So being able to communicate with your soul is very important. Most of us don't know how to communicate with our soul. Through meditation, through practice, to gain this knowledge. And I advise all the brothers and sisters in this group to please try and protect themselves, because I've been in other groups where they open doors to other things that are not really nice, and they themselves, family members, get hurt. And we don't want that to happen. If you have anything like that, I am willing, if it's within my power, to help you with all those things. If there's any questions, please feel free to ask. And the third eye, as I said before, is the most important thing in your life. That is why when you wake up at times, you're having a dream, you're having 360 degrees, you're seeing things that are not supposed to be there. It's like they are present. So being able to communicate with these things protects your life, protects who you are. Taking spiritual bath all the time protects your life. Meditation, using the right words and the right incantations in the Benin Empire. The Benin people are actually known to use a lot of incantations in war, a lot of incantations in winning away evil, a lot of incantations in going through dangerous bushes, jungles, so that they are not attacked by witches and wizards. They are not attacked by animals. So these are some of the things that we've done in the Benin Empire. And for example, in Japan where I live, we use the beans to say Oniwa Soto Fukuwa Uchi, which means every bad thing in the house outside, every good thing outside comes inside. We also have this in the Benin Kingdom, which is Bubirie. So we have similar traditions because, like I said before, we migrated from around Egypt, which I also believe the Japanese did because we have common languages like Ame is Ame, which is water, Domo is Domo, things like that. So I'm not saying that you should not be religious. Being religious is very good in your own way, but in spirituality, the basic are all the same. You know, the things that happen to us as human beings are all the same because the universe work with us. Being able to, you do not go against the flow of water. You try to walk with the water. You go with the flow of water. You don't go against it. So going with the universe, all we do actually helps us being able to use the universe to help our thinking, the way we think, the way we do things, the way what we want for our family. We are able to protect our family by doing a lot of things. For example, like I said before, using sage to clean your house, using different cleansing materials that are in the market right now, using ordinary salt water to bath, and other things. Most of them I cannot say here because they become too deep and you may not understand it, so that you don't go and use it and you start having negative problems instead of positive results. Laughing is very good for your spiritual upbringing. We forget to laugh because we have problems, and what we don't realize is that in spirituality, what we're really looking for is happiness in our lives, making our soul. The body is just so actually helps us to achieve the things we want, and being able to communicate with your soul and with the things you want in life helps a lot. Using spiritual guidelines that are already there on core and things like that actually helps. But in the Benin tradition, we go further than that. We go to oracles to find out, okay, this child is sick, what is the problem? And they tell you what to do. And we go there, we make those sacrifices, and the child gets well. We also believe seriously on reincarnation. And there are certain occasions when a child keep coming back and dying. And they put a mark on that child. When the child comes back, they know the right sacrifices to do to make sure that this child does not die anymore. So for these simple things that we know that we are given to us by our forefathers, we continue to do every day. And I pray that victims to energy vampires or to people who want to harm us actually get away from it. Yes, please.
But you have to say, repeat the question once again. So you talked about protection.
Yes.
And you were talking about some different types of weeds and herbs and which you bathe and so on.
Yes.
Which is I guess, this was a physical protection.
Yes.
So in this physical protection, you are strengthening the outer shell so that you're safeguarding the inner soul. Is that
Yes.
So ultimately, the outer protection is not for the body as much as it is for the soul.
The outer protection, you see, it's like, for example.
You can repeat the question.
The question is, the question.
Yeah, the question. Come in with the question again, please.
So I'll ask the question.
Yeah,
so,
please ask the question. Yes.
My question is that, Brother Kingsley, you were talking about different methods in the Benin Kingdom used to protect the body, assuming that the body itself is not the ultimate reason for the protection, but in fact the soul that's encompassed within. Perhaps you can expand on why it is, therefore, that the body is the primary focus of the traditional protection.
Okay. It's very simple. It's like drinking with a dirty cup. We all know that when a cup is dirty and you put water in it and drink from it, you get sick. So cleansing the body, when the body is clean, a clean body does not, you see, the soul is inside us. We're keeping it within us. And when you clean the body, your body is clean, you cleanse your body, it is difficult for anything to affect your soul. That is our belief. It is like you have, this house is very clean now. So everything, it is hard for you to get sick in a clean house. If your house is very dirty, you get sick easily. So it is our opinion that when you cleanse your body, even in the holistic way, which I also have a temple in Japan, we use different things for cleansing, like sage, eggshell, unexing oil, and things like that, to cleanse the body. Once the body is clean, the soul is happy. If you wash your plate before you eat, it is likely that you don't get sick.
So what are the properties? What are the properties of these things that you use to cleanse the body that in fact protect it from these energy
vampires? Well, the properties differ from what you are suffering from. The properties, what you use, differs at every given. If you are suffering from headache, for example, there are incantations that we have that can be used. We can even wash your head with some kind of leaves and water, and the headache is gone. This we don't really understand because it has been given to us from our forefathers. It has been through oral history. So we know how to use these things to cleanse ourselves of these illnesses, to remove these illnesses from our body. You have a stomach problem, for example, and there is 2 or 3 leaves you put together, you mash them together, you drink it, and you are healed. It's natural medicine, and it has no side effect. So does that answer your question? Okay.
No, I'm just no, but you said you don't know. This is just going from.
Yeah, we know the leaves. I am not going to mention them right here. Yeah, because I'll be exposing some secrets I'm not going to expose. But we know the things we need to get. For example, we have roots, for example. And you take this root, you take that root, and you put them together, and you drink them, and you have some effect. And it actually works. But what is in that root that makes it work is something that was not released to us. Because this is a secret. It's like a code. And I am not, even if I know, I am not going to tell you that this is what is in this state that makes it work. Any other questions, please?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Someone like me or the general, can we achieve spiritual protection without the means of any objects or temples?
Of course you can. Of course you can. That is where the way you meditate matters a lot. The way you are able to relate with your soul. The way you are able to use to open your third eye. Because we all dream. And because we all dream, we have a soul, we have a spiritual. Your soul knows where you are going. So before anything happens to you, you have the feeling that it's going to happen. Why do you have that feeling? Why do something like that? Because you already, but you need to improve your spirituality, to open it like that this thing is going to happen. But you may not know what is going to happen. A good example is that before I came here, I had a dream that something was going to happen. And I told my staff, this is going to happen, but I don't know where. And as of yesterday, it happened. Okay, if I have told maybe my father about this or somebody about this, there's something that can be done spiritually to avoid it. But because I left, I could not do anything to avoid it. So what is really there is that you can use the means open to you. You don't have to belong to any religion. You don't even have to believe. But it actually helps. It is hard to understand this, but it actually helps your spirituality. Yeah. Any other questions, brothers?
These secrets are communicated to initiates only or to specific people in the African tradition?
To initiates only. You have to actually belong to some society, or your father have to put it back to you, or your grandmother taught you how to do it. There are some simple ones that are very simple that everybody knows. That if you do this, this doesn't happen.
Anything else you want to add?
No, just waiting for questions.
Brother Joe has a question. Do these practices work even for non-believers, or a person who has to believe these methods will have to work? Do these practices work even for non-believers, or a person who has to believe in these methods to have it work?
A good example is, for example, my father took me somewhere when I was very young. And I told my father, I don't believe in these things. And his answer to me was that whether you believe or not is going to work. It's as simple as that. Whether you believe that the alcohol is going to make you drunk or not, it's going to make you drunk because there's alcohol content in it. So if you put the right things together and you do it correctly, you're going to get the same result. The fact that you don't believe in Panadol does not mean it's not going to cure your headache. It's going to cure your headache. So it's a very simple way, but belief is very important. When you believe in something, you get quicker results. It is proven for even people with arthritis. Doctors had an operation and had another one that was a fake operation. And because those who did not have the operation, they believed that they already had the operation, they were healed, they were cured. There are proof for this. So belief plays a very important role in our spiritual part. Because once we don't believe in anything, we have a problem. What you believe in is yours. But believing in God, believing that God gave us everything to get the result. We are part of the divine. And we have a link to Him. So if we are able to communicate correctly, rightly to them, we get the result that we want. Any other questions, please? Does that answer the question?
Yes. Any other questions here? Any other questions online? I just want to
David, the famous question.
Anything else you want to add, brother?
Can you read this up?
David Etten, in African holistic medicine, the concept of is not well understood, but from your conversation, you have come into the understanding of meditation. How did you harmonize these two schools of thought?
Well, being in Japan have helped me a lot in harmonizing that thought. Meditation is not done in the African tradition very, very well. We believe in incantations. But after living in Japan for about 30 years, I understand that meditation helps a lot, because when you isolate yourself from every other thing and you are able to concentrate on what you want, my belief is that the third eye opens and then you are able to get that thing easily. And it is very difficult to achieve this in your first or second attempt. Being able to practice all the time, even if it's 20 minutes or 30 minutes every day. I, for one, meditate between 40 minutes and 60 minutes every day. I find time to be alone. I find time to be able to reflect on something that I want to happen. And when you do this all the time, when you want these things to happen, to change, it actually starts happening, even without you realizing it. Because when after it happens, you forget about it. You don't remember anymore. And that is what we all are. When you have a wound, you feel the pain. Once the pain is gone, we don't remember. That is why most of us don't appreciate what we actually have. Are we grateful for the things we have? For example, our liver, our kidney, our this, our that. We always want more. It's human nature. We are always looking for more. We are always looking for things that we don't really need. What are we being grateful for the things we have? Because being grateful for the things we have will make you to have more. That is why gratitude is one of the basic things of spirituality. Being able to appreciate the small things that you have. That is why they say it is not materialistic. It is about spirit and soul. Yes.
Okay, you mentioned meditation is a way to spirituality and opening the third eye. Is there a one way or a certain school of meditation or any school that you feel can do the work on that, opening the third eye?
Personally, whatever school you believe in, it's all about belief. The way we do it in Japan is different. The way they do it in America is different. The way you do it in every tradition is different. But the result you get is the same. If you believe in any of them, or you have a teacher or a tutor that will teach you, follow his ways, believe in it, and you will get the same result. Read some books. Reading is very important. Read some books. Listen to some people on who does the teaching, and you'll be able to open your tagline and help yourself.
Another question? Anyone here? Yes, okay. Can you come close and say it next to it?
Is there any belief in the ancient African tradition that there are certain people who are more able to be in tune with their third eye and spirituality, or is it something that's open to anyone and everyone? And does that tie into ancestry or like?
It's not open to everyone, like every other tradition. There are people who are very special, who have the we have native doctors, we have priests, we have people who we are born into it. We have people who are taken away by what we call Eziza. You know, when the wild wind, they go to the farm, the wind takes them away for like 7 years or 14 years, and then you see them after 14 years, and they are in a different spiritual realm. The way they talk to you, they see things. So there are people that we go to and say, oh, I have this problem, what do I do? And they check for you, and they tell you, okay, go and do this, go and do this, go and do this, and you get better. And if you want to study to become better, you have to go under them and be a student. And it will take you years for you to learn, because every different thing has a different remedy. So you actually have to spend your time and your energy in trying to become better in what you do. But being also yourself can develop as a human being, can develop what you are doing. You can develop your spirituality. You can develop what you know. You can ask questions. I, for one, was very close to my grandmother, and she taught me a lot of things. My dad taught me a lot of things. And people I have been around, the societies I belong to, have actually helped me to open my eyes more on what to do. Being a member of other organizations in Japan, spiritual organizations, actually helped me. Reading books, spiritual books have also helped me about improving my soul, because the only thing we're going to take our soul. And educating your soul now will not be love, because your soul gets more educated every time you come back. So I believe that we here now are not just meeting. We've met before somewhere. There's a connection. There's a path that we are following. And when we are following that path, we are able to go longer and longer. But my problem is I have seen people get burnt because they are made to open doors that they should never have opened. And then you start seeing their children getting sick, they getting sick and things like that. But it is easy for you on the spiritual path to learn a little bit about these things and protect yourself and your family.
So you would say it comes from willingness of the person.
The willingness is very important. Yes, very important. You must be willing to make that extra step.
the concept of reincarnation that your tradition, that the tradition has, is it one that is akin or similar to, let's say, the Indian one, where the soul migrates, can be one day one lifetime human, another lifetime an animal or a lower creature, or is it always human to human?
I do not believe in the soul becoming an animal or a tree in a very short time, maybe after a very long time. I, for one, I know who they were in their past lives, because we have a way of finding out when you have a child. Like when I was young, I was like 7, 8 years old. My grandmother said, "I'm not going to be born in Nigeria. I'm going to be born abroad." What are you talking about? Don't have any children abroad. But I finally went abroad, and one of my daughters, I believe, is my grandmother. You understand? Because the characteristics are there. So I believe I'm going to come through my child. I'm not going to come back as a tree. And my belief is that the soul is able, when your soul is educated, where you are coming from. You are able to decide which family you want to come from, because you've educated your soul. The soul always comes back in different forms. I have a book, the Book of Souls. I forgot who wrote it right now. When you read the Book of Souls, it tells you when the body dies and the soul leaves the body, it's actually trying to console those that he has left behind. But we don't see them. They see us.
So in the African or in the Benin tradition, on the one hand, you're protecting the soul, but the soul keeps coming back to what end? What's the purpose of it continuing to come back?
I don't know the answer to that, but the truth is that the soul keeps coming back until it has attained a certain level. You have the younger soul, the soul that is educated. It's like we going home. If a soul is already, and also knows the way to his home, so when he leaves the body, he goes straight to the home. If it's a younger soul, he doesn't.
So when you say a younger soul, is that a new soul? And if it's a new soul, where did it come from? I mean, if there's a continued reincarnation, and the souls are going from one body to another, choosing their path. But by virtue of saying that there are young souls, means that there are new souls that are coming into being.
Yes.
Where are they coming from?
God.
No, I'm saying, in the tradition, in the new tradition, when you have a new soul, the source of that new soul is.
No, the fact is, new souls are always born. Everybody is not reincarnated, so that will be reincarnated again. So there are different souls. When there are souls that are just born currently, recently, right? And then after that, they become older and older. When they become, I don't know, whether they're going to become a lion or a whale or whatever. Like the Indian tradition is different. For example, in the Japanese tradition, they bring back the dead every August to the house. They have a vase, they have them there, it's called the Obon period. During the Obon period, they bring the ashes of the dead to the house, and then they stay with them for 1 week, and then they return them back. This opens doors for different spirits or different souls to come into the place, and then you need to cleanse it or something like that.
So, but the souls are being reincarnated. And how can they invade when they left the body? Being reincarnated, then there shouldn't be stuck in limbo somewhere.
Okay, what made them stuck is this. There are souls that are not supposed to have gone now, but their life is taken up. Have you seen the movie Ghost, for example?
Yeah.
You've seen the movie Ghost. Now, when the soul is not ready to leave yet, and the body is taken by accident or by something that is unnatural, so to leave, because his journey is not completed yet. So you have to be able to send it away in a way, or it's going to stay around for a long time.
Okay. We have 2 more questions because we're running out of time. One question from Jotuma is, speaking about these methods of healing, taking into consideration the laws of karma. Yes? Traditions that you are mentioning with karma.
Well, karma is something that, in the Benin tradition, karma is something negative. If you do something bad to somebody, something bad comes back to you.
Okay.
But if you are doing something good, protecting yourself, protecting your family, there's no way something bad is going to come to you because you are not doing something bad to somebody else.
So it's exactly like karma then.
It's like karma.
It's not negative.
It's not negative, yes.
Okay. And then the other question from is he says that it seems there's a lack of standardization in traditional medicine, just as you said. He says that a major deterrent to its inclusion in conventional medicine, in normal everyday medicine, is that deterrent, that there's so many different versions of it, right?
Yeah, there are so many different versions of it, and unfortunately, the religion that we have right now is eradicating our history, eradicating our traditions and our ways of life. That these things we're losing them. People that have them, they are dying off.
So he's asking, what is your view about including this traditional medicine into the regular health system in other parts of the world, like in India, they do it in Japan and China, according to him?
We are actually trying to do that. I have a company called HBK Naturalist Medicine in Nigeria, and we've developed some medicine, we are developing some medicine that will help heal some illnesses. For example, prostrate 4 years ago, and they said they were going to give him an operation. He's 76 years old. And I said, no, we have a natural medicine that can heal him. We gave him this natural medicine, and for the past 4 years, he has not had the prostrate anymore.
Okay, last question from New York, from Brother Muhammad Yatim. He says, is there a connection between African food, specifically vegetables, and spirituality, like some traditions promote?
Yes. Yes, there's a spirituality behind it. Every leaf has something to do with different things. Vegetable is leaf. These leaves are very important. They are herbal. So using the right leaves at the right time helps us a lot.
Very good. Okay. Thank you very much, brethren, brothers and sisters. Thank you very much, Brother Kingsley. I'll just add for everybody's information that CORE promotes knowledge and information across all traditions. In handbook number 4, towards the end, there is the beginning. Sorry, there's some mention on African tradition and how they perceive man and so on. And this is all part of just having as much exposure as we can to different ancient traditions in the world today. Thank you very much, Brother Kingsley, for this presentation, and thank you all for listening. And please put it on your schedule for July 1st. We're going to have another presentation on Hermeticism and Thoth. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you. Well done, brother.
Fantastic.